Hola, hola, mi gente. Soy yo, Gia, the Kaizen Investor, and we are back again for another wonderful Sunday Live. Tonight, I am spending the evening with the man, the myth, the legend, Chris Monroe. He is a real estate investor and multi-passionate, multi-happening, phenomenal entrepreneur, and I'm going to bring him in the party now so y'all can meet him. Hey, Chris, how are you?
What's happening? What's happening? What's happening?
Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so excited to have you on the show tonight.
Great. Thank you for having me on as well.
So, Chris, for the people who don't know who you are and what you do, can you let them know? Can you give them a little taste of why you're so awesome?
Well, I wouldn't consider myself awesome. I just consider myself a great person.
Sure.
My name is Chris Monroe. I reside in St. Louis, Missouri. I'm a local real estate investor, creative real estate investor, specializing in subject to wraparound mortgages, lease options, creative finance, and solving problems for people. That's my number one goal, is to actually make a win-win situation for me, the buyer, the seller, whoever's in the deal. And I'm a serial entrepreneur by trade, and I just happened to stumble into real estate.
How did you stumble into real estate?
So yeah, as you know, being a entrepreneur and getting your mindset right and actually stepping outside of the box and doing more study and learning and watching videos and podcasts and different things, right? So one day I was listening to a YouTube video and I kind of fell asleep. But then when I woke up, it was a guy walking around with a big beard, walking around talking about real estate named Max Maxwell. Wholesaling, what's that? Look it up on the computer, start searching it, start learning it, and start implementing pretty much right away. Didn't waste much time on it. And I went on in and closed about 17 wholesale deals in my first year. And own multiple properties now. I'm trying to get some more. I can't get enough. So that's basically how I got into real estate.
So what were you doing prior to real estate?
So I was a serial entrepreneur. Like I said, I have several businesses. So I have a local store here in St. Louis. We sell furniture, collectibles, antiques, stuff like that. I'm also an auctioneer. So 25 and 35 and 45 and sold. I do that. I also sell multiple private label products you see online and different things like that, even like these hats and stuff. So I create stuff. I'm a creator, and I'm a salesperson and a marketer, and that's what I was doing before I got into real estate. So it was kind of a smoother transition for me to shift over into real estate and use some of the skills that I might have learned from other business endeavors or other things. My first main business was a cleaning business where we did had a cleaning business for like 4 years, so residential and commercial cleaning. So I've sold products, I've sold services. So and it was like getting into real estate, and all it is a little bit of paperwork and just learning the jargon and learning how to speak to people in the right way. I said, put me here with both feet.
Now, you just said it, but I want you to repeat that one more time. Within your first year, how many deals did you close and what did you acquire in the process?
So yeah, my first year I acquired I actually did about 17 wholesale deals. I think I bought about 5 or 6 houses in my first year. So actually tomorrow, August 31st, is going to be my 2-year anniversary from when I closed my first deal. So 2 years ago on August 31st of 2018 is when I closed my very first wholesale deal. So I hit the ground running and ain't looked back since.
Happy anniversary, sir. Because you know what's wild and wonderful to see is your progression. Because I met you at the Max Maxwell, I'm about to say concert. It felt like a concert.
These real estate rappers. Well, we only got one. My God, shout out to him. But
I know, shout out to Max. But I met you in Texas. And you were killing it then. And at that time, you weren't even 10 months in. You were probably, when I met you, probably like maybe 5 or 6 months in.
Yeah, because I think that was March, right? March.
Yep, it was.
So March, yeah, like I said, I closed my first deal in August, so about 6 months or something. Yeah, so not too much time after that.
That's sweet. That's seriously sweet. Now, I had to ask you the obvious question. In light of current events, how has it been in your area? Because you live in Missouri. You live in St. Louis, Missouri, especially during all the George Floyd protests. And how's the temperament been now? Has things, I hate to use the phrase die down, but give me a taste of the pulse of St. Louis right now.
Yeah, so St. Louis, we're tired up. We're ground zero for
Yeah.
Mike Brown and things like that. Because they kind of kicked off, the Black Lives Matter movement and all that type of stuff. We're kind of the epicenter right here, Ferguson, St. Louis County, where things, they don't take lightly to this stuff. Any type of thing where it looked like the police is doing something wrong or anything like that, they ready to tear it up. So basically, something happens, we feel it here quickly for some reason. However, as far as the business side of things, I mean, it did affect a lot of mom and pop, local businesses, Black owned businesses as well, probably more so. That's the sad thing about it, but that's a whole political thing there. I don't know if you want to go that deep on it, but in reality, for that part, I just looked at it was like, it's bad. We turn up our own place, but that's why I'm always an advocate of more entrepreneurship, doing creating more businesses, creating more actual producing more than we consume. I feel like we as people, we consume way too much and we don't produce enough. I say put out more and take in less.
I'm so happy you're saying that, though, because what a lot of people don't recognize is as you put out more, you are providing more solutions. You really, really are, because when you think about the fact that a proper business owner, what they do, if they're doing their work and handling their business, is just like real estate, you're solving problems, right? So as an entrepreneur, your whole idea is to solve problems. So a lot of the problems that we have as a community and as a collective, as a nation, I'm sure we already have the solutions, but we're looking for someone else to solve our problems for us. I know that's a whole other conversation, but
that rabbit hole goes deep. But I think a lot of the oppression and a lot of the things that us as Black people in America, or so-called Black people here in America, can be changed through literally entrepreneurship, getting in the game, and having a stake and a claim in it. I feel like if we're just consumers and we have to beg and, we're going to boycott this and that. I mean, I understand it is a play, and I understand that marching and protesting is a play, but I feel like we can do something bigger and better than that. I feel like that's kind of step one. We need to be on like step 10 or 20 by now. We need to graduate, move to the next level, up our level of thinking, up our level of productivity.
I co-sign on that. Which is also why I'm having you on the show tonight. Because if there's one thing I really appreciate about you, Chris, it's the fact that I told you before, I love your brain, Chris. I do. I really love, because every time I talk to Chris, it's always about what he is doing. Chris never talks about what he can't do. If he wants something, he's going to figure it out. So step one, before even real estate, tell the people you own a store, correct?
That's correct. So we have a store here in St. Louis with over 10,000 items for sale, furniture, collectibles, antiques, all types of stuff. So we buy out estates. We also buy out, I don't know if you saw the show Storage Wars, where they open up the door and people look in with flashlights and like, what's in here? I bought over 300 of those. So I'm actually going to one on this Tuesday. I'm trying to buy some stuff now. So it's kind of fun to buy it. It's not fun moving it, sorting it and all that and selling it. But, it is a business model. It is labor intensive, but people don't understand, you can make a lot of money flipping stuff, whether it's, shoes, clothes, furniture, like I say, all different types of things that you can flip. So like when I slid over into real estate, I was like, all it is the paperwork. Yep. Oh no, put me in that thing. I can do that.
Now, I want to know this. Did you already have a background in business before you started your first business?
Oh yeah, most definitely. So I've been a hustler my whole life. So full disclaimer, I've been selling stuff since 10 years old, probably. Candy, soda, some other stuff I shouldn't have been selling back in the day. I sold stuff. I sell stuff. I've been selling. So, at a young age, I realized that I'm going and begging somebody, can you please give me a chance? Can I get a handout? That mentality been gone. I don't even think I ever had it. It just never felt right to me. It don't feel good to me to beg somebody and ask, can you please give me a chance? I'm a person that like to get on out there, go get it. Don't make excuses. Don't whine and complain, and take action and make things happen. It's just my mentality overall in life. So, being an entrepreneur has always been, in my blood, I feel like.
So with that, what are some challenges you faced as you've been building your businesses thus far?
Oh yeah, so many challenges. How much time you got? No. So there are plenty of them. You know, one is you don't know what you don't know, and you don't know what
Mm.
you don't know, you don't know. There's
Oof.
so many things that you simply don't know. You have to constantly and repeatedly train yourself up. You have to unlearn some junk you didn't need to know. You know,
Mm.
that's a sad thing. I hate to tell people that. Sometimes I feel
Yo,
like the
say it
things you
again.
learned in the first 25 years of your life, you almost need to delete it and go relearn everything over and start from scratch. That's
Yeah.
painful. I know that's hard to hear, but most of the stuff you've been told the first 25 years of your life was probably a lie. You have to, reevaluate that stuff and say, does this really work in my best interest? Or is this something somebody told me to think?
Yeah.
Somebody told me to believe. Somebody told me that I cannot do this, I cannot do that. You can do anything you want to do. You can do anything you put your mind to. So that's why I advocate, learning, training, practicing, doing things, taking action, because you can study this stuff all day. There's
Mm.
thousands of YouTube videos on all these topics. Whatever we talk about today, it ain't like it ain't never been talked about before.
Facts.
You could learn it, but will you take action on it? That's the big thing. That's the question of the day. Will you learn it, take it in, the stuff you need to, let them keep the junk you don't want to keep, and go take action on it? And that's what that's the way I think about things. Take it in, take action, and see if we can make something happen.
That's true. Now, before I go on to the next question, I need to let these beautiful people on Instagram know that we are closing this out because the party is happening on YouTube. So the link is in my bio. Go ahead and click it. If you can't make it, until next time, adios, ciao, besos, and we're out. I told them, I said we live. Anyways, now it's just the three of
You
us.
play, you get them out of there.
I told them, I said we going live. So now I need to talk to you about this. As I said before, I appreciate your mindset because every time I talk to you, Chris, you're always talking about what you're doing. You're always talking about upping your game. But a part of entrepreneurship that I am actually learning myself and I want to talk to you about is, can you tell me about a time that you recognized that you were the bottleneck in your business, that you were blocking your own success?
Yeah, I feel like that every day in every one of my business endeavors. I feel like I'm always in the way. I'm actually
Mm.
looking and searching for a way to get out of the way. How can I remove me out of the equation, put in a person, i.e. an employee, a virtual assistant, some type of assistant, somebody that can help, some software, an app, something, because this is the information age. There's so much information and technology that we can embrace to actually help us in our businesses. So there's really, in my mind, I feel like there's really no excuse anymore. It's all about us making a decision first to say, yes, I want to change my life.
Yeah.
And yes, I want to take massive action on some things. So as far as an actual example, just recently, on the videos, because, I do my weekly show as well on Monday nights, 7 o'clock
Right.
Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern
That's
on
right.
Monday nights, talking about real estate, entrepreneurship, things like that. And sometimes we make video clips from different parts of it. And so I used to make these clips myself and go in and put in the subtitles and put the little cute little headline and all this stuff. And, it's like, man, it's a lot of work. How can I hire somebody else to do it? So, me, get on that internet, find somebody who specializes in doing this, specializes or they like to do it. Some people like editing videos. It's tedious work. I would never wish it on anybody unless
Yes,
that's
it is. Say it again. It is tedious
it's
work.
tedious, itty bitty. You gotta take that a little comma here and a comma there. I don't want to do that. Pay somebody 10, 20, 30 bucks, whatever you gotta pay them, and let them go do the business for you. Go do that part of the business for you. Get out of the way. That's one part. And then the other way is in the real estate business when it comes to cold calling, cold texting, marketing, pulling leads, extracting lists, skip tracing, all of the little tedious things that go into the real estate business. I found out quickly that I don't want to be on a cold call, getting hung up on, cussed out. Hey, how'd you get my number? You MRFer and all of this other stuff. I don't want to be in that. No, get me out of the way. Let somebody else take that heat and train them up to do this thing. So that was some of the ways that I learned to get out of the way. And since I've done it, I've been more successful. I was able to do other things because, like you say, your mind, and my mind is thinking on the big picture. Why am I worried about a small one call? I need somebody else to run those calls. or video doing subtitles and editing videos. Let somebody else do that. They got time to sit on the computer and play all day. I have other things to do that my mind can be working on that are bigger and better to help improve the business.
What systems did you have to implement in order to be more productive?
All types of systems. I'm a systems guy. I use a system for everything. Phone calls. All calls are recorded for quality and training purposes. Text messaging systems, any kind of marketing systems, pulling lists, skip tracing at wokeskiptracing.com. Another business we launched during the pandemic and is doing great. So, you really have to find a way to say, here's a problem, do a little research on, what companies or products or services are offered to solve that problem for you. Get recommendations for others. That's what I always would suggest. Say, hey, who do you use? What do you use? What service do you use for this or that? Ask somebody else who's in the business or in something that you're trying to do and find out if it works. Test it out. If it works, great. If something's not right, get it out of the way, fix it, tweak it. And if it really ain't working, get rid of them all together and do it all over again. And that's the painful part. It's a lot of pain in this entrepreneurship, as you can feel. Most people don't know that when you get into this lonely journey of being an entrepreneur, there's going to be some pain, and you're going to have to figure out a way to get around it, suck it up, and make it through anyway.
What is one thing you wish someone told you when you were just starting out in your business?
Well, that's a good one there. Let's see. Somebody should have first told me. I would probably just say, that it's a numbers game. Talk to more people. You're not talking to enough people. However many people you're talking to now in real estate or in any business, you're not talking to enough, because if they don't know you, they can't flow you. You got to reach more people. You got to have more people saying your name other than just you. Other people mentioning, oh yeah, I saw this on there, or the Kaizen Investor is good, or whatever. You want people saying it. You don't want just you saying it. You want other people saying that this is a great show, or I learned this or that. When others are giving you your flowers now, it's a lot more powerful.
That is true. And that is a wonderful segue, because I need to give someone else their flowers. I am giving you your flowers, Chris, because you're phenomenal. However, I'm going to pull you off real quick, because there's someone else on here that I have to promote, because I deeply appreciate, hopefully you guys can still hear my voice. Dun, 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 dun. Will it come up? Ooh, let me make myself smaller. Oh, I was hoping that I could go ahead. Can you guys still hear me? Oh man. That was my attempt of adding and promoting AnnettesWorth.com, because she's been doing an excellent job in sharing her new course, which is called, what is it? Oh my, the beginner's course to stock trading. So go ahead. The link is in the bio, but I also wanted to plug her because I'm so super proud of what she has been doing. I love people who are movers, doers, shakers. So go ahead and check out her wonderful course. The link is in my bio, and my commercial did not work. Technical difficulties. Let me bring my friend Chris back into the show. Hello, Chris. Ooh, now it's back.
There you go. So don't worry about it. I'm gonna help you get that together. See, that's what I'm all about. Bring me a problem to solve. See, everybody else run away from problems. I say, is that a problem? Put me in on it, coach.
That was my problem. I was trying to promote my girl because I'm so proud of Annette. She's doing such great things, helping people learn about stocks. I was thinking about that because I was thinking about her, and I was also thinking about you, because you said something really powerful, which was the fact that you launched something during the pandemic. Now, naturally, don't get me wrong. Has 2020 been a challenging year? Yes. However, it leans towards what I appreciate, which is you and your mindset. Someone can easily look at it and see all the negative, and there has been a lot of negative things that have taken place. However, you saw opportunity. You saw a positive out of it. And so from that, you were able to once again solve problems. So I want to ask you that. During this year, 2020, how has your business fared? How have you been able to serve people more despite the challenges people have been facing recently?
Yeah, I feel like it's, I don't really feel like it's too much difference. A lot of people do, because see, that's the thing. So when I got into this business, I never got in to say, okay, I'm just a wholesaler. One, I don't ever even use that title. So, I'm just gonna, you want to sell your house? Let me run out and see what it looks like. I've never been that type of person. I've already ran this business from the very beginning virtually. I've locked up houses under contract, never been to the house, never seen the seller, never seen the buyer, closed the deal. A lot of people just can't get that in their mind that is even possible to do deals, because real estate breeds through what? Paperwork. Why are we worried about all this stuff and trying to run out and all this? You know, if you know how to talk to people on the phone, and that's how I train all of my coaching students and anybody who watch any of my content on YouTube at Chris Monroe STL, to know that if you know how to speak to people on the phone, you don't have to run out there every time and see it. I'm not saying that that's not going to happen. There are some people that say, I want to meet somebody. I want to shake your hand and whatever. But now through COVID-19, people are staying away anyway. But it never was a shift for me because I was already virtual. I was virtually already. So it's like, it really didn't make a big difference. There are some people that have been, I would say, tired landlords seem to be more motivated now, simply because they cannot evict or cannot, you know, foreclose or do things to get people out of houses, or they wasn't able to for a period of time. And so it's a fear in the marketplace. So Mr. Investor comes on along, talks to them and say, hey, we'll take it over. We'll deal with the tenant. We'll solve all your problems. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Now they're happy. They signing paperwork. Next thing you know, we solve their problem, close the deal, and they're another happy customer that gets to go on our website as a good positive testimonial.
Nice. What has been the most challenging thing about training your staff to be problem solvers, or just in general? What challenges have you seen?
Staff is the number one problem in my mind in entrepreneurship that I've always had. That thing there is a never ending story. You're always hiring, even if you think that, oh, well, I got enough people right now. You ain't got enough. You need good killers on your team. You want to keep the good ones and flush the toilet on the bad ones. Get rid of them. Get them out of your life, because they could really drain on your business, really hurt your productivity and things like that. So, and you know, training them up is always a thing. You know, I have a saying that if your virtual assistant sucks, you suck. You have to train them up. You know, the buck stops with you, the business owner. Somebody has to take responsibility to train and help them become a better person, whether they're doing calls, closing deals, pulling lists, whatever task it is. Help them become better so they can serve you even better.
Now, I want to know this. Tell me about a time when you went out of your way to help one of your clients close a deal.
So yeah, just recently we just closed the deal. I want to say, was this last week, maybe the week before. So another virtual deal comes in off of our website, straight off our website. I get on the phone. I'm talking to the daughter of the property. She says, yeah, my mom wants to sell her house. She lives here in St. Louis. We want to move to Texas. And, you know, we ready to go. We just want to sell it. We don't want to play around with real estate agents and all of that crap. So they already did some research on us, looked on our website, which is a very important thing, to have a good website with testimonials of people saying good things about you. Yeah, how they helped you out. Actual video, by the way. I have some written ones, but I got some good, powerful video ones. That's a little nugget for the people watching. Get testimonials from the people you do help. So they're saying how great you are. So going along with the deal here, we locked the deal under contract virtually before I even saw the house. We went and met them. I brought the buyer with me on my first appointment because I already had it under contract, by the way. The buyer took it. We had to do a little bit of slight renegotiation of about $3 or $4 grand less because they didn't disclose some other repairs that the house needed, but they didn't owe anything on it. So we did the deal, locked it up for $47,000, sold it to the investor for $57,000, made a quick $10,000 on a house I've only been to once. So
nice.
How many of those do you need before you're out of a job? You know what I mean? I wish they were all that easy. They're not all that easy. Don't get me wrong. But every once in a while, a nice little fresh one come through like that. You're like, that's why I kind of like this. It's kind of smooth.
No, wait. Last time we spoke, you were talking about how the St. Louis market, of course, which to me, from what I've heard and read, is still a great lucrative market, especially for investors. It's a very investor-friendly market. Have you seen any of the pricing change since this time last year? Have prices gone up a little bit? Has word got out that St. Louis is the new hot spot?
Well, St. Louis is more of a hot spot for buy and hold investors. If you're going to buy a property and hold it, cash flow is king around here, baby. You can buy a house for $30,000 or $40,000 and sit on it, and it pays itself off in 3 years or 4 years easily.
Beautiful.
You know what I mean? So this is a cash flow cow market. Now, if you're talking about flipping and all of that, flipping, flopping and all of that, you can do it, don't get me wrong, but it's really not the best market for that. If you want to buy and hold, and that goes for any of these Midwest markets. A lot of people on the coast, in your
Yeah.
DC or
DC.
California, y'all crazy with 400,000 for a little box. Like,
Yeah.
you can get 20 houses for the same money here in St. Louis with a Section 8 tenant or whatever other type of tenant you want. So, so as far as this market here, I feel like it's pretty much been the same. Now, there have been, like I say, more motivated, disgruntled landlords and things like that. So people are wanting to get rid of these properties. If those tenants stop paying rent, they're just, because they're living off that money. And if the money's not coming in, they don't want the problem of the house anymore. So that's where we come in, and we've been targeting more and more of those, and that's where we've been finding many deals as well.
Fantastic. Now, for the people who are watching who may not be familiar with all that is involved in virtual wholesaling, can you give them the basics and what your workflow is?
Yeah, most definitely. So when it comes to virtual wholesaling or virtual real estate, because really I bought houses from people I never even met. Can you believe that? I never met them, but I bought the house closed on, and all we did was paperwork over the internet, and I went to the title company and they got their money wired or whatever. Never met them. So the whole thing, the whole gist, the umbrella for all of this is all about knowing how to get on that phone and talk to people like you got some sense. Now, if you just get on there and you're like, oh yeah, what you want for it and all that real quick, you're done. You're not having a conversation with people. You want to get on there, first of all, have a great basic conversation. Hey, how are you today? Great. So tell me a little bit about that property you want to sell. Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah. So are there any repairs or anything that you're aware of that the house may need? They might rattle off some stuff. And if they don't, we go into deeper detail and ask specifically about certain things. And we're listening this whole time while we're asking these questions actively to make sure when they say something that may catch our ear, like, I don't want this house no more, or, oh, I don't, whatever. They'll give you a hint. Many times, if you ask the right questions and be a good listener, you'll listen to them and they'll tell you exactly how to close them, which makes it so much easier to close a deal out because they told you all of their pain points, problems, etc. So first, a little bit about the house, condition of the house. Secondly, a little bit about their situation. So it sounds like a pretty good house. What made you decide to want to sell it? Now, some people may say, why are you selling? I never say that. I just, that sounded a little more conversation.
Yeah, the first one sounds more aggressive. Yes, carry on.
Yeah, this is a nice house here. I mean, it don't sound too bad. I mean, what made you decide to want to sell it? Oh, I just can't afford it no more. Oh, my grandpa this. Oh, whatever. The dog died. Life, right? So we want them opening up to tell us those things. So if we're able to work everything out, Mr. Seller, how soon would you like to close? We got to know about their timeline. If some people are like, oh yeah, I'm just trying to see what you'll give me for it. Tire kickers, they probably not going to be the one for you. Now they're like, yeah, man, I need to be out of here by the 30th of next month because the bank is taking it or whatever. I got a foreclosure date or I have some type of imminent thing coming up or, whatever, life, you know what I mean? The corona hit somebody, whatever, stuff going on. So if you listen to them, let them tell you what their problems are, let them tell you their situation, you can then formulate a solution to their problem. But if you don't know all their problems, all their pain points, all the things that they would like to happen, because we even asked that as well. So how do you see all this playing out in a perfect world for you, Mr. Seller? How would this look to you? I mean, if it was just perfect and you can wave a magic wand, how would you wave it? And they'll tell you, oh man, I just would be glad to get this house out of my name. Or I just don't want to pay. I can't afford this payment no more. And I don't want to lose it and get a foreclosure on my record. Perfect. We have perfect programs, especially for people like you in your situation. This is how it works. And we tell them how our different programs work. So, we can buy the house for cash. We can buy the house, like I say, on subject to wraparound mortgages, lease options, creative stuff, which is a little more advanced, but it's not too much. I learned it in a couple of weeks. A lot of people make it sound like, oh, it's such a big thing and you'll never know it. I learned it in 2 weeks. I mean, it might take somebody 2 to 4 weeks maybe, but it really ain't that deep, to be honest. You really can learn it just like you've learned everything else you've learned in life, how to live stream, how to do real estate, how to speak to people. We learn stuff every day. That's why we have to be lifelong learners. So we would go through, talk to them like that. And that's just an initial call just to, gauge their motivation, see if we can help them out. Then we do a closing call and lock them up on the contract from there.
Sweet. I appreciate you saying that, the fact that you recognize that you have to be a lifelong learner. I love that. But, I also appreciate the fact that I really do, especially for those who are not familiar. Chris has a phenomenal YouTube channel. Go and subscribe to it. Go now and subscribe to it and come back to us. because I love those calls that you have. They're coaching calls, and you were teaching people how to cold call, how to talk with sellers. And what you always teach them is basically how to listen, like how to listen, because that's something that unfortunately many people don't know how to do or don't realize the power in really listening. Like you said, being able to listen to the seller, because ultimately they would tell you how to close them. I love that. That's true.
Yeah, and another big thing I hear too. So say you're talking to a seller, and yeah, what do you think you want to get for your house? Oh, I want 100,000. Well, if you don't mind me asking, where'd you come up with that amount? I always ask that. I want to know where you got that number from. I don't care what number they said. They could have said 1 million. Where'd you come up with that number? Because see, that's something we're going to use later to possibly close them on, to show them other facts or whatever we need to do to get them off of that number if we are trying to get a cash deal. If we need to, to bring them back to reality, because everybody thinks their stuff's worth, double the price, that. So,
They do.
it's worth what it's worth. It's worth whatever somebody's willing to pay for it. And that's just the real thing to keep in mind.
You know what I like? The fact that you always talk about the need to be a educated investor as a whole, right? The fact that you told me earlier the importance of not just knowing how to wholesale a deal, but to have other tools in your toolbox. The fact that you know in depth creative real estate investing, different ways of closing a deal. And to me, it coincides perfectly with the basics of entrepreneurship, right? You can't be a one-trick pony. You can't open an ice cream shop and only sell vanilla ice cream. It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work.
Shut down.
So in what ways have you actively taken a role in learning more in order to be a better entrepreneur?
Oh yeah, so I'm constantly feeding myself, what the stuff you put into your mind is going to show you what's going to happen in your reality. So I definitely listen.
That's heavy.
So I listen to, different podcasts, YouTube streams, any kind of live stream. If they're talking about something I need to hear every day, I try to program myself, because you're being programmed whether you want to be or not. Listening to the radio, watching TV, all this other noise, the stuff that doesn't add any value to people's lives. We digest that stuff. We know what's going on with the Kardashians and everybody else, but we don't know how to get our life together, how to get our mindset right, how to change and break generational curses. And that's the type of stuff that I'm trying to get on, to where I keep my mind. Because I know whatever you put in here is very important. If you're taking in a bunch of junk, what you think you're going to get? Garbage in, garbage out, right?
Facts.
So I don't want to be, taking in a lot of unnecessary stuff that doesn't add value to me, or where I can help and add value to others. There's no reason for it.
So I really want to know, what caused you to start your own YouTube channel and sharing your platform? Because I got to keep it 100. I really do feel like people have no idea the amount of value you share. Because if you guys don't know, Chris is pumping out content on the regular. Sometimes I feel like you pump out more content than Max. Because seriously, it feels like I
can't catch up with him. He got a whole 6-man crew or something over there.
he got a full crew. Shout out to Max. But you're right behind him, though. I feel like almost every week, if not every other week, there is something coming out. There is some interview. There is some training. Why do you feel it's so important to be sharing this message and educating people along your own journey?
Yeah, I think it's very important to do that, because it keeps me grounded as well. If I keep knowing that I'm putting out content every week, every couple of days, all the time, it's keeping me focused, because there's a lot of distractions out here. Don't get me wrong. Like, we got the COVID-19 going on and the presidential election this year and all the other stuff of life going on. It's easy to be distracted. But if I keep myself grounded every Monday night, I know at 7 o'clock, I'm on a live stream. Talking about real estate, bring me back to life. I don't know what I was doing all week. I might have did something I wasn't supposed to do, but bring it on home, baby. So I come on back to the house, get on there and do that like that. So I think it's very important to help people too, because there's so many people that feel like they are forgotten, or they may feel like, there are no options. I must go suffer this suffering. And I'm like, no, you don't have to suffer anymore. You just have to have it in your mind and say, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take some action on this information that I'm receiving, and, do something different, because working that regular job to me is like slavery to me in my mind. So
what's the last time you had a job?
Oh, wow. It's been over 10 years now. Probably about 2011, something like that. So yeah, it's been a while, but so I got out of the Army in 2006. So I'm a combat veteran, a highly decorated combat veteran, United States Army supply sergeant. That's what I did in the Army. I got out in 2006. I actually did a lot of little odd end jobs and things between there. I drove a taxi for like 4 years, so that was a long time. And then right after that, that's when I started my first business, which was a cleaning business, residential and commercial cleaning. So I had over probably well over 300 or so employees. So I've been through a lot of workers. So I know the worker side is always a battle. We ain't gonna never win, feel like to me, but keep fighting that battle. No matter what, keep, going through. Because there was a lot of people we hired that it wasn't even worth writing their name down on a piece of paper sometimes. Like, where do we find these people? You know what I mean? And there's people out here that are bad. Now, we did get some good ones too. Don't get me wrong. We had some people that was like, man, I need to just keep like 20 of you. Get rid of these other people and 20 of you. Then it was some people that wasn't even worth dealing with. So like we said earlier, that the employee thing is really a major thing in my mind. Once I conquer that, I think we got most of the stuff figured out when it comes to entrepreneurship. Most of it, that is.
Yeah, because that's the thing, honestly, I am always very curious about, and I'm listening intently because I always think, okay, people love to say on social media that they are like the self-made millionaire, the self-made entrepreneur, but it's not true. It's not true at all. There are many hands that add to the pot. You're the face, you're the figurehead, but there's many people in the background. And like you said earlier, you're only as great as your weakest employee, right? So not only do you have to hire them, but there's also a heavy level of management and leadership involved. And for many people, that's not something that is taught.
Yeah, and key word you just said there, leadership. I will say a lot of that stuff I did learn in the military, but you can take the time to learn. There's books on leadership and things like that out here, or different people to teach that stuff. Go seek that information out. Even though if you're weak at a point. So say I'm a weak leader, go become an expert in it. Take you about a week. Maybe, you could almost learn, enough to do some things in about a week or two. Really, that's how fast this information goes on this, this internet. You wouldn't be an expert or anything, but you would know enough to get to the next level.
Get started. And shout out, who is it? Daniel Bird said, Chris, the Army leads the way. Okay.
Army, who?
Representing for the Army tonight. Respect for that. But it's true, though. And I appreciate the fact that, once again, Chris, you always have the mindset of being a problem solver. You always. I can't stress that enough, Chris. Every time I talk to you, say, okay, well, I'm doing this. I've never done it before, so I'm figuring it out. And all I'm telling y'all, watch Chris, and you're going to notice a theme over and over and over again. And I always find that to be extremely inspiring, and it always kicks. What you don't know, Chris, is that you virtually kicked me in the butt. You really
go out there and do it. You can do it.
You really do. I'm like, Chris, I don't know how to do it. He was like, well, there's Google. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Chris, I don't know how to do it. Well, there's YouTube. Yeah, you're right. There is no secret anymore. Everything is accessible. The question is, how badly do you want it, and how much work are you willing to put into it?
That's true. That's exactly what it is. And, like right now, I have an app coming out in about 2 weeks. I don't know anything about making apps and none of that stuff, but I'm jumping in the field anyway. Who cares? I don't have to know everything, but I know other people who know how to do things, or I can find other people who know how to do things and create things. So we have an app coming out called Pinpoint Assist app. That's going to be coming out in a couple of weeks.
I can write that down. Pinpoint Assist.
Yeah, Pinpoint Assist, and that app is going to help real estate investors or anybody in life. It's not just for real estate investors. My plan is to make it more than just for real estate. So basically, how people go out and put bandit signs out on the side of the road, and they have other people do that for them. So with this app, they can actually have that person that's going to put those signs out take a picture of it, and it'll actually go into a database automatically to let that owner know where all of their bandit signs have been put out. So a person can't just say, I put out 500 signs, boss, and they ain't put out nothing. They went and threw them in the dumpster, because you don't really know. Rather you can snap a picture and it gives a timestamp automatically, and it goes automatically into a database, so you'll know where each one of your signs were put out, so that you'll know that the person put it out, not just said they put it out. You see what I'm saying? So it kind of helps you out, because putting out bandit signs is a lot of work. Now that's one part of the app. The other thing is you're going to be able to take pictures of different projects. So say you have boots on the ground in another city, they can go in, take pictures, video, and upload it all within that system as well. So if you have somebody else doing that, it's all going to go through their Pinpoint Assist app, coming out in a couple of weeks here.
Will it be both available on Android or Apple, or is it really going to be first on Android first, or what's the flow?
I guess I'll let Apple get in on it, even though I'm Team
That's
Android.
always going to get in on
No, so it is Android and Apple compatible, and so it's definitely going to be in the Play stores here soon. They're finishing up the last of the stuff now. I'm just trying to make it right first.
I love that idea. You're right. Daniel's right. Daniel said great idea. Yeah, it's a genius idea.
Yeah, and I don't know anything about apps. This is the first app I'm putting out. I did websites. Now I've built over 40 or 50 websites, but I've never did an app. And I'm not even building an app. I have somebody else do it that knows more about it than me. I don't have to know everything. I just need to know how to get things done. So that's like we were talking about earlier. Get out of the way. I could have went and built this app. Now I actually even went on a platform to sign up to do it myself. But I looked at it, I said, man, I ain't doing all this. Hire somebody else to do this. How much it costs? Where to send the money to? Let's get this thing done.
Say that one more time. You said you didn't have to know how to do it. Oh, I missed it. Now I have to rewind this to hear that again, because that was so good. It's so true. You don't have to know all the answers. You don't have to know all the answers. You just have to find the people who know or who could lead you to those answers.
And even if you're afraid, do it scared.
That's fact.
Do it anyway. You're not gonna, you're gonna learn a whole lot more doing things than just thinking about them forever. You know how many people say, I'm gonna write a book one day.
Yeah.
So I wrote a book. I never had a thought to go write a book. I just said, well, everybody keeps saying they want to write a book. I'm just gonna go write a book because everybody's saying they're gonna do it. And I just did it. I didn't think about it. I didn't ponder it. I didn't say, well, maybe one day. I didn't make excuses. I just did it. It didn't take long. It took a couple of weeks, and it was out published on Amazon and on audio book and everything. So it's in every format. So it's real simple. It's called Racism: Understanding the Basics. I need to write some other books, but that was just the first one. I just threw it out there just because I was like, well, if everybody's saying they're going to do it and they never do it, I'm just going to go do it and see what it feels like. Get the experience.
And the powerful thing about that, just launching, just to get the feel of it. Once again, you said that experience. Once you do it, even if it's I know your book is not a crappy book, but even let's just say that you write a book and it is a crappy book. The fact that you've done it and you learned the process of how to do it, then you have already built that bridge. Because a lot of times we have this horrible mental block that I can't do it. It must be hard. It has to be difficult. But once you just throw out what I call the beta version, just release the beta. Even apps, your app, every app comes out a beta version of it, right? Then you go back. Once you get feedback, you can reiterate it. You can modify it. You can have the 2.0. Look at Apple products.
They always tell them with Apple, and they put it out anyway, and we pay full retail for it.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But yet we don't have faith in our own genius to just give it a try. And the ironic thing is that now, before there was a glass ceiling, before there was always a middleman to publish a book, you had to know a book publisher. Now
these days, you can drop a book this week if you wanted to. It's just that quick.
I sit here amongst all of you wonderful people whom I appreciate, by the way, doing a live show. Back in the 1990s, only Oprah did that.
We are living in great times. We have to take advantage of this technology, embrace this technology, and use it. I've seen people online say, I'm going to get off social media.
Don't.
Yeah. Maybe you need to get from following the jokers you're following. Unfollow some accounts. Get from the stuff that's coming down your feed is programming you, like I was talking about earlier. You have to be conscious of what's coming into your brain. You can't just let these people program you, tell you what to think, tell you what to vote for, tell you what to believe, tell you what to drink, tell you what to eat. No, wait a minute. I got to have some say-so in this.
Exactly. Look, I have another product to promote, which is, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see
wow.
Oh, here we go. Can you see that? That is my girl's product. Once again, plugging her again because I'm so proud of her. AnnettesWorth.com. It's her own mug. Because my people out here making products and stuff. My people doing it out here. Seriously. Anyone and everyone has an opportunity to create their own lane. However, what I've noticed over a period of time is that once the lanes are open, people build their own mental blockades. Oh, no, I can't do. Oh, no, I don't know how to write, so I can't be a writer. Oh, no, I don't know how to speak well, so I can't be a podcaster. Oh, no, I don't. Why are you?
You want to know the hack I did to do my book?
Please tell me. Let the people know.
This microphone right here, right? Get on this computer and I press record and I spoke it out, right? I spoke the book. Then I went on the internet and found somebody who can transcribe it and typed it all out, right? Then I took the transcription and went in and edited and make it make sense because, speaking versus, writing format is a little different.
Yeah.
Got to edit it. Then I took and got a book cover in the back for the book, and the book was done.
Everything's figure outable. Everything's figure outable. It's a beautiful time. However, like I said before, as long as we make sure that we are getting out of our own way, we are limitless. We really are.
Definitely. And that's the only thing that'll stop you is yourself. Some people allow others to stop them, like, oh, you can't do that. I don't think you can do it. No, you can't do this. I can do anything. Yep. Just because you can't do it don't mean I can't do it.
May I also add to that? I'm going to be honest here. The other thing to remember is the fact that you have to embrace, I don't want to say looking foolish, but you have to embrace the fact that it may not look perfect on the first attempt, that it's going to look like a beta version. But once again, that's you trying to get out of your own way. That's ego there. And a lot of times our ego gets in the way of our profit.
Exactly. And I don't think that anything will ever be perfect. I mean, no matter what, even this stream or my streams, I don't think it'll ever be perfect because I'm a perfectionist too. Don't get it wrong. I'll be thinking, oh, this got to be right. Oh, why that's turned a little bit. Oh, what's that little thing hanging right there? That's my thing from Max Maxwell thing right there. Matter of fact, hanging up on the wall. If you can see it.
The lapel.
But, when Gary Vee was down there and stuff. But, it's like, it's never going to be perfect no matter what. So I don't even, worry about that. I put it out. The people going to say what they're going to say. They're going to think what they're going to think. Everybody's not going to like you. Just receive that. The people who do like you, serve those. The people who don't, they'll come back around one day and say, I heard about them back in the day. Oh, they different now. They come on back around anyway. That's part of the transition, And people feel like, oh, well, these haters, and they stopping me. Well, the haters motivate me. I don't know what to do for anybody else.
And here's the thing, though. I agree. Haters motivate you. But the problem is that people put too much emphasis on the haters. What they don't realize is that you have this stand, seriously, of people who are cheering you on. Sadly, the cheerleaders don't speak up that much, right? That's what it is. So I always like to think that, okay, they're cheering me on. It's just on mute. I just can't hear it. I got my headphones on because my head is in the game, which is the other thing, too. It's important to remember that you have to. I always think about athletes. I need to make a post about this because I always think about athletes, right? Why do you see athletes wear headphones when they step onto the basketball court? Why? Yeah, of course, they're listening to music. They're trying to get, their head in the game. However, they're also blocking out any negativity. They don't want to hear that. They don't want anything to mess with this before they step on the court. We can understand that with the mind of an athlete. How much more so do we need to develop the mind of a successful entrepreneur, in the sense that you have to, like you said, change your programming. And you also have to recognize that you have to procure, your own mindset. You have to procure and protect it.
Stand guard of your mind. You must be a guardian.
Part of it.
Put a security guard on the front of the door. You ain't getting my mind.
I mean, I want to keep it 100 with you because there's many people on social media I have blocked, swipe, delete.
Blockification.
My block game is strong. Why? No hating on them, but you are not giving me the messages that I need right now. You are not feeding me right now. And as we both know, as investors, my most valuable asset is my time. Why should I waste it on negativity?
Don't do it.
Why should I waste it on you? No, especially when you develop a mindset. Like for me, my word of the year is relentless, right? I am relentless. I am going to get it done. I am going to push through. I am very dogged in my mindset about what I am going to accomplish. So when you develop that mindset, you really do have a mindset where you're just like, either you're with me or you're going to get out of my way.
Isn't it a book called Relentless by Tim Grover?
It's one of my favorite books.
There you go. Drop something heavy on them.
Oh my goodness. That is one of my favorite books.
Yeah. Push forward anyway. Push forward through it anyway, regardless of the obstacles, regardless of the issues.
Yes. And when you become that dogged in your mindset, that relentless, oh, I'm sorry, I'm missing all these comments. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. All these comments here and I missed it. Sorry, y'all. But yes, when you become that strong, what you're saying, when you're protecting your own mindset and you are relentless, you really don't care what other people have to say. And man, also, as not that you don't even care, it gets to a point, I don't even hear it.
I don't even hear it.
I don't even hear it. Because guess what? You're not on my level. Guess what? You're not playing on this court. Did you lace up again on this court? No, you sitting in your popcorn in the stand.
Nosebleed section.
No, you sitting up in the stand. I don't have time for you. I really don't. So please, for those of you guys who are watching, please always remember there will always be people with commentary, but those same people are not the ones who are brave as you are to take the lump and take the Jeep. Take the leap. I said Jeep. Ay, Dios.
Take the leap of faith. You got to get on out here and make yourself great.
So look, if people want more of Chris Monroe, where can they find them? Where can they find you? There is water in here, I promise. Where can they find you?
So yeah, I'm easy to find on all social media outlets at Chris Monroe STL. That's Snapchat, that's Twitter, that's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's YouTube, that's TikTok, hip hop, you don't stop, rock it to the bang bang, biggity bop, and all of them. Chris Monroe STL on all social media. Now, if you want to catch some of my live streams where I'm actually talking to sellers live, I do those normally on the Instagram page. A live stream right on there, and sometimes there are no warnings. I shouldn't say sometimes. There's never any warnings. So go follow on IG at Chris Monroe STL. I talk to sellers, talk to buyers. The other day we just did an interview live with the virtual assistant right on there. So I try to put out the stuff in real time, not just me teaching and preaching. I show you. I like to teach by doing. I know a lot of people say somebody need to hold my hand and walk me through. That's what I specialize in. I walk you through the deal, talk you through the deal, show you exactly what I do on a regular basis right there on there. So as far as the real estate training to learn things, as far as the creative real estate, virtual wholesaling, or anything else I do as far as real estate, that's at wokerealestate.com. wokerealestate.com. That's WOKE. And we actually have a Facebook group as well. It's a free Facebook group, Woke Real Estate Investors on Facebook. So, I try to get around like-minded people as well. That's what the Facebook group is for. So, be surrounded by people that are doing the same things, going through deals, talking about struggles, talking about successes, talking about different things, and giving out some blessings. That rhyme. You like that?
I love it. I loved it. So let the people know tomorrow at 7 p.m. Who is on? Who is your guest?
So yeah, tomorrow night, Monday night, raw real estate style. I'm on with Victor Antonio. You might have seen him on with Grant Cardone or some of the other master sales trainers across the United States, maybe even the world. I don't know if he's worldwide, but I know I've seen him on some big stuff. They specialize in sales because, this business, as far as wholesaling or real estate, is marketing and sales. You can do all this great marketing, but if you don't know how to close these people up, talk to these people, handle objections and different things like that, it won't do you any good. So we're on Monday night, 7 o'clock Central Time, 8 o'clock Eastern, and you can watch it at Chris Monroe STL on YouTube. So that's where we stream that each and every Monday night. We bring on different guests. Sometimes I do case studies on there as well, where I actually go in and lift up the hood and say, look at this. This is how we wrote this down. And they say, show some hoods. What you want to see, babe? You want to see a hood where I bought a house for less than $1,000, or what you want to see? I can show you some stuff. You be like, man, that ain't real. I show proof. I like to show and prove. People say you can't buy houses, no money down. You most definitely can if you know how to talk the right talk and walk the right walk and help these people out and solve their problems. It's not always about money, but it can be. Money ain't everything. It just happens to be right up there next to oxygen.
That's a word. We're gonna end it on that. So, Chris, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. Beautiful people, thank you so much. Make sure to like, follow, and subscribe my YouTube channel and Chris Monroe's YouTube channel. Until next Sunday, thank you, thank you, thank you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Besos. Good night, guys.